must construct additional pylons. 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 You must construct additional pylons. You have not enough minerals. You require more Vespine gas. Not enough energy. You must construct additional pylons. Pylon, 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 pylon. Light fire. Pylon, 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 pylon. Entaro, Adun. Pylon, 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 pylon. All for the Empire. Pylon, 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 pylon. Our gateway has no power. We must build a pylon near it so that our forces can be brought to this place. Not enough pylons. You require more pylons. Not enough pylons. Pylon, pylons, pylons. You must construct additional pylons.
Hello everybody and welcome to the BWMN Mapping Network Open Tournament round of 16. I'm Birdie and with me I have the beautiful Hacklepiece.
Hello.
And the first game we've got up today is Eon Zerg versus Bakuryu. How do you pronounce
Bakuryu.
that?
Bakuryu.
Bakuryu. Okay, Bakuryu.
You're not on Team Liquid.
Okay, I should be. It automatically comes on after a couple minutes normally. Turn. Yes, online. And yep, I already associated the stream, but it should.
There we go.
Ah, yep, there we go. Okay. So, in news in the community, of course, we have the Team Liquid Legacy Star League. You can now sign up for it and play in it, and I think there's like 100 people already signed up, but they've got like a round of 512, I think it is. So there's heaps and heaps of places. So even if you're like a D-Ranks noob who's never played a game of Brew in his life, you should still go over and sign up and have some fun playing against the pros. And of course, it's a good chance to cheese some pros and kick them out of the tournament, which is always fun. Meanwhile, we can probably get straight into the game. And as I said, it's Eon Zerg versus Bakuryu. I'm going to screw that up really badly again, aren't I? Okay. So game 1 is on Gemlong. Do we have latency?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, do the latency trick then, I guess. Or you could actually host the replays if you like.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I extracted the folder, but I never actually put it in the right place.
Okay,
So now I
that'd be
can
great.
create. I'll use the same name.
Okay.
And I'll start with this one. The game name might be too... No. Never mind. I think the game name might be a little bit too long.
Okay. You can start when you're ready.
Alright, let's get into it then.
Eon Zerg versus Bakuryu. Some of the best Zergs in the scene at the moment. And in the bottom left corner we have the Teal Zerg, who is Eon Zerg. In the bottom right corner we have the Orange Zerg, who is Bakuryu.
Yep.
And the map is Gemlong.
I definitely am a big fan of higher level ZVZ.
Yep. I don't think I've seen Bakuryu play ZVZ yet. I've seen Eon Zerg play some. He's pretty decent at it.
Do you hear anything wrong with my mic?
No, your mic sounds fine.
I just got a message on Skype that says my mic is not sounding very good.
Well, the sound quality is really bad because it's XSplit, but other than that,
Alright.
reboot XSplit. No, yeah, there's nothing I can do about the sound quality. It's been screwed with XSplit. So next week we're probably going to be changing to a different broadcasting platform. So probably OBS. So the sound quality will be way better. But as I've said for this cast, as long as you guys can understand us, we're just going to roll with it.
Returning back to what I was saying, though, I really am a fan of high-level TVs. I find it very interesting once the players get to a point where they really know what's going on. It's not too often that you can have two players with really different styles, just because so much of TVZ is very scripted. But we do have a little bit of that today, with Eon Zerg being a more aggressive kind of ZVZ player. Lots of links, lots of mutalistic attacks, where Bakuryu is a little bit more patient about it. He really decides when he wants to attack, will allow his opponent to get map control, but can really punish them by realizing that their mutalists are out of position and go for a very nice backstab.
Yeah, he definitely has a nice way of playing it. We do have the hatch before pool in his main here, so he's going to be going for lots of early Zerglings.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that. Was that a 12 hatch?
No, I think it was a 9 hatch. He did it really fast.
No, I don't. That's what I'm wondering. I think it was.
Is there such a thing as an overhatch in ZZ? Because I do think he did get his. Yeah, I think he got his overlord first and then he grabbed the hatchery. I missed that though.
That would be new for me, but just comparing it to Bakuryu tying for the 12th pool, it really does seem like it was a 12 hatch. Interesting. Base 12 hatch. That's a very good way. Very good way to go if you want to be aggressive, as I was saying. What it does is you're really just building that hatchery for the extra larva. There's nothing else you can do with that. And the only thing you can spend the extra larva on, other than you use it on two things. The first thing you use it for is an initial burst of mutalisks, so you can spend up the reservoir gas faster than your opponent would be able to. But after that reservoir goes away, it's really just there to allow you to make lots of reserves. So it means that games oftentimes come down to how well Eons are can use this. If you can use them very well, you can win. But that involves catching Bakuryu off guard. On the other hand, if Bakuryu plays it safe, make sure that the Zerglings don't do any damage at all, then Bakuryu's extra gas will kick in, and the Zerglings will slowly but surely become irrelevant in the match.
Yeah, and it looks like Bakuryu was able to pick off a drone or two there, but in general, Eonzog actually mic'd that a lot better than Bakuryu, so... And of course, Bakuryu's lair is already complete, and he's got his hatches natural.
Indeed. Zergling speed about done for Bakuryu, but just starting for Eon Zerg. An interesting choice. He's going to go lair and then spire and then speed.
Yeah, and I find it interesting that actually, although Bakuryu's lair was quicker, he actually got his spire down just a little bit slower. Not entirely sure what the lair was for, but there we have it.
Yeah, what Bakuryu did there was he saw that Eon Zerg had ZM-base hatchery. He knows that means Zerglings, so he went and got the speed upgrade for the Lings earlier than he normally would have, expecting Eon Zerg to do the same. But actually, Eon Zerg did not go for the early speed. He waited a little bit for it, which is a very odd decision from Eon Zerg. It's going to allow him to have a faster spire, but it takes away a lot of the power of the build in the Zerglings. That being said, though, because if Bakuryu can't do any damage to the speedlings, they shouldn't be able to because he has so much fewer, even if Eon Zergs are slow, then Eon Zerg does get the better end of this by a little bit by having the faster spire. Kind of a weird mind game where both players did the opposite of what they quote-unquote should have done in that situation.
Yeah, and of course with the double hatch he can actually get formed immediately, but then Bakuryu, well, once he takes his natural gas, he would actually have the gas advantage. What's interesting is that Eonzo's actually got enough Zerglings here that he can just push out and kill these things here instead of waiting, which of course he probably realizes now as he's pushing out with all those things. And Bakker is taking his second gas, and he only has one pair of scored out at the moment, so and with a second pair on the way.
Baki is actually banking a lot of gas here. I'm not sure why. He really needs to start making Mutalisks, because Eonzerg's Mutalisks are coming in now. He had to have scouted at some point with his Overlords. If he didn't, he certainly knows now is the Scourge of pursuing. But he didn't even have enough links to block the front. Baki, you're getting very greedy there, and now he's dumping all of his gas. He started making them Mutalisks, but he's lost the link right at the front already. And the Lings are moving into the main. The Mutalisks, I would assume, should be ready to go. Mutalisks just stayed back home. And not getting involved in this attack, interesting. I guess didn't want to have to deal with the Scourge. Baku does manage to pick off all of the Lings with drones, only losing one.
Yeah, which was quite lucky for him in many ways, because if he had lost more drones at that time, he would have been in quite a detrimental position. But in this case, he's actually surprisingly not as bad off as I would have thought. But I actually find it strange that Eonzerg's not doing more pressure with his Mutalisks, but he is coming over with Mutalisks, and he's going to run right into his scores, which do manage to hit two of the Mutalisks, but these Mutalisks are going to be totally unfought against if they take up drones in the main. This is big problem for Bakker here. He's also got Zerglings taking out his drones here, and these Mutalisks and scores are not going to be wide enough to be able to deal with this Mutalisk block here. And the Zerglings are taking down drones, and Bakker GG's out. So that means that Eonzerg takes game 1.
Unfortunate for Bakuryu. He got greedy there. He needed more than just one sunken colony or more Lings or something. But then when he realized that he needed a little bit more, he just got a little bit too scared, and he didn't know what he wanted to build. He banked up to like 500. And he had it for quite a while. He could have been making something else there, but...
Yeah, I felt in many ways he actually did some strange decisions in it. I thought because he would have had the faster Mutalisks, but instead he decided to go for the slower Scourge than he could have.
Alright, game's hosted.
Yeah. Okay, so game 2 is on Melting Pot. And another one of these ZBZs. Okay, Eonzerg +1, and we are on Melting Pot. Okay, in the bottom left corner we have Bakker from Team LRM Evolutions and as the white Zerg, and in the top left corner we have the red Zerg, who is Eonzerg playing for IFU. International Federation of Untouchables, I believe the acronym is.
Indeed it is.
And both players are going to be scouting in the correct direction. And shame on you, Eonzerg, for not using the hold lava trick. Shame on you.
Alright.
Oops. Okay.
So, this is going to be an interesting map for ZBZ. Just looking at when you look at this map, you gotta factor in the double bridges. The way that magma looks, it could be a little bit deceiving as to exactly what the pathing is, but those are 2 bridges in there. What it does mean is that you can, if you can block that with your Lings, then you can be very safe. But blocking double bridges can be a little bit difficult because it involves knowing which side the opponent's coming from and getting your Lings constantly in the right position. If they manage to break through that, then you're in a lot of trouble because the rest of the main of the natural is not very congested. It's a pretty fat ramp along with a very open main and a very open natural. So it can be risky to go for something like a 12 patch, as we see Bakuryu doing here. But if he can hold those double bridges, it is absolutely the right decision. Unfortunately, Eonzerg is going for a 9 pool. So.
Yep. And I mean, if he takes his speed as well, he could be going for a heavy link build again, as he sort of did in the last game. And yeah, as you said, these bridges are quite hard to hold both of them at the same time. Although if you can position your stuff correctly, you should be able to pull it off. And he is taking his Zergling speed straight away, so maybe the sound is actually really bad, because people are all complaining about it.
To be honest, I didn't notice the sound as that bad when I was listening to it earlier, but then again, it is a little bit confusing when you're listening to both the Skype conversation and the stream at the same time.
Yeah, and that 12 hatches, oops, that 12 hatches cancelled. I just screwed up the stuff.
Yeah, that was a very quick cancel from Rock for you, and I'm not sure if it was the right decision. Obviously, you should cancel. I'm not saying that the hatchery finished. What I am suggesting is if you had left it there, the link would not immediately run into the base, and you would not. Wow. Okay, well, it's gonna die now.
Oh, and they lost the spawning pool.
Yeah, he wouldn't have lost the spawning pool because they would have been distracted a little bit by what was going on there. Then you could have canceled it. By canceling it early, you got to bring the drone back and keep that alive, but I think it might have been worth it to allow the Zerglings to poke away at the morphing in hatchery a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, the Zerglings could have ignored it, but in this case, they didn't have a choice about it. They just had to go straight into the main anyway. So the layer is just about complete for Ian Zerg, whereas it's a little bit further back from Bakaru, who also doesn't have a spawning pool yet. Well, it's not complete at least.
Yep. And now Eon Zerg transitioning into the Spire. Bakaru, I don't know what Bakaru's going to do.
He's taking the Spire.
Alright.
I suppose there's not much else he could do in this situation.
Yeah. You know what? He's not that far behind after losing his spawning pool. I mean, he doesn't have any Zerglings, it's a little bit annoying, but he's even on supply, and he has a sunken colony up, so if Eon Zerg decides he wants to attack again, it's he at least has some kind of static defense.
And he's even going to go and try and take the natural again with his drone there.
Now that is a very risky move. As I said, he doesn't have any Zerglings to defend that. Literally 0 Zerglings right now.
Yeah,
Eon Zerg should pick that off.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Eon Zerg hasn't actually stayed there with the Zerglings to pressure that, to just even snipe a few drones off the bottom edge there or something like that, where it's unprotected. Eon Zerg's taking his second hatchery and he's going to keep it in his main. Oh, actually, Bakaru does have those 6 things there. I can't even remember seeing those spawn. He must have been the first wave. I'm confused. Okay, so Spire is just completing for Bakaru, and he's going to be morphing 3 Mutalists just the same as Eon Zerg is. But Eon Zerg is banking a whole lot more gas particularly, and resources as well.
Alright, well, Mutalists are now out for Eon Zerg, going to immediately head to Bakaru's base. Bakaru should be getting his out just in the nick of time here, and they are out. Mike is not quite fast enough to say that Overlord, though. No, it will be. Overlord gets to live.
Yep, and Bakaru gets the first hits off as well, which means that those Mutalists are forced to back away. So Bakaru does have his gas up in his natural now, which is great for him because he's able to stay on top of his both the Mutalisk and the gas production is going to be better than Eon Zerg, which is good for him. Neither player taking upgrades just yet.
I'm really kind of surprised by the way that Eon Zerg's been doing this game. You know that you did damage early, and that your opponent's going to be forced to play defensively. I don't know why he didn't keep his lings closer to the front to try to stop the natural from going down. As you said earlier, I'm not sure why he made it an in-base hatchery when there was no way Bakuyu could possibly mount a counterattack, it being off of only one hatchery with no spawning pool. I don't know why he didn't just put it in, hit it in his own hatchery. He'd have us up the gas right now. And this isn't the kind of situation where you want to be going for a later lane Mutabust. But we have an engagement out at the 9 o'clock here. Between the two Mutaforces, Eonzerg is actually doing a really nice job of microwave. Bakuyu unable to score a hit, but Eonzerg's taking enough damage that he doesn't want to continue the fight quite yet.
That's because Eonzerg's microwave is circling, trying to take out some of these drones there. He only takes out one, I believe. And there's Militia coming into the natural here to own the main, and you're taking down 1 drone, 2 drones, 3 drones, at least, I think, 4 drones possibly there. And the Scourge is doing some hitting as well, which is good, but Bakuyu is still there with his Needless and taking more and more damage. So Eonzerg's really actually quite low on the Needless count here, if I can see correctly. I think he's only got 3 left, so Bakuyu's in a very good position now if he can stay on top of his micro and continue this pressure. But he does back away and stay in the defensive because of these Scourge which are coming across from Eonzerg. And he does take out one with nothing to make it, but he does get hit and loses 1 Mulus from the Scourge. And Eonzerg GG's out, so Bakuyu actually takes the game 2. Okay everyone, I'm going to restart XSplit because of the sound quality, so we'll be back in just a moment.